All right, so Larry, let's talk about Camden, New Jersey, which is not far from my hometown of Philadelphia. So I know about 8 years ago, they pulled funding away from their city police department and replaced it with a county force. Is something like that possible here?
I'll tell you, I'm certain the FOP in Cincinnati would fight this. Cecil Thomas even told me he doesn't think that type of agency is a fit here. Louisville, for example, they have a metropolitan police force, which is similar. Look, Camden, what they did is they busted unions to make their approach work. It's debatable how well it works, depending on whom you ask, but union contracts, that's what they attacked. Those dictate the number of officers a municipality pays, the number of sergeants, etc. Changing that contract could, no doubt, save any municipality money. That is why some want Cincinnati's FOP part of any negotiations going forward.
And I'm very familiar with Camden, New Jersey. I've been there many, many times in my childhood. And I'm just wondering, what was the impact of having that county force on crime and police relations with community members?
So some crime numbers went down. There's debate about how great this new agency is because some of the issues with that police force before in terms of their relationships with the community, some say those problems still exist.
Yeah, I'm certain they do. And again, these are issues that we are all tackling. Does anyone else on the panel have any questions or insight into what Larry just spoke about there, Lisa, especially as we talk about declaring this whole thing a public health crisis?
Yeah, I know when I did talk to Senator Thomas, he did mention, maybe not defunding the police, but something about the subculture. He was talking about how there is just this feeling or this that kind of silent thing that the police have, that code of silence that really seems to demand a lot of what's happening and kind of controls a lot of what happens. And he would think if could maybe be a way to kind of get into that could make a difference. But he definitely, like Larry said, definitely said that the FOP has to be at the table in order for this to happen.
Absolutely. And so I know that several of you, Lucy, I don't know if you wanted to add anything to that, because I know that your story is going to be a little bit different here coming up next. But what have you heard, and what the people that you've talked with out in the community, some of the community social services groups, what do they have to say about this idea of defunding the police department?
Well, Timyka, I haven't asked that question specifically to the social servants groups that I talk to regularly, but I know that the conversation nationwide has focused on maybe providing more social work services to people who are struggling, whether that's people struggling with addiction or even domestic violence, or some of these calls that the police get all the time, that maybe social workers could be doing some of that heavy lifting rather than the police. So it'll be interesting to see if that plays a role in this at all locally.
Yeah, and that is something that, of course, Governor DeWine recently said that he wants to tackle as well across Ohio. So, again, a very, very interesting topic here. Thank you, guys.